So, when I say the word creativity, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably a painter, a poet, a musician, right? But what if I told you that's a really narrow view of one of the most powerful tools your brain has?
I mean, really, picture it. Does it look something like this? The lone genius in a messy studio? Someone with paint-splattered jeans or a guitar always within reach? Yeah, we all kind of have that stereotype baked into our minds.
But the actual research, it paints a totally different picture. Turns out creativity isn't some rare magical gift only a few people get. Nope, it's a fundamental cognitive skill that every single one of us has. And it's designed for one main purpose: solving problems. It's just as much for engineers and city planners as it is for artists. Scientifically speaking, it really just boils down to two things. For an idea to be genuinely creative, it has to be, one, novel, new, original, something a bit unexpected. And two, it has to be effective. It has to actually work. It has to solve the problem or be useful in some way. That combination of newness and usefulness, that is the secret sauce. Okay, so how does our brain actually do this? Well, it turns out we have these two primary modes of thinking, kind of like two different toolkits that work together to come up with these new and effective solutions. The first toolkit is all about going wide. We call this divergent thinking. Imagine you have a single starting point, and your job is to just generate as many different ideas as you possibly can. You're casting a huge net. You're not worrying about what's right or wrong yet. You're just exploring everything. And psychologists have some pretty fascinating ways to measure this. As you can see here, a classic example is the unusual uses task. You get a totally mundane object, like a brick, and you have to list as many uses for it as you can think of. A doorstop, a paperweight, a weapon, maybe grinding it up to make red pigment for paint. The more uses you list, and the more original they are, the higher you score on divergent thinking. But a giant pile of ideas isn't a solution on its own. And that is where the second toolkit comes into play: convergent thinking. This is the process of narrowing down. After you've gone wide with all those possibilities, you have to find the single best one that actually works. This is the kind of thinking you use when you're solving a riddle or a puzzle that has one right answer. You analyze, you get rid of the bad ideas, and you converge on the most effective solution. The real magic, the real genius, happens when you master both: that wild, expansive brainstorming and the sharp, focused analysis. Now, this is where it gets really, really cool. We can actually get better at this. And one of the most powerful ways to boost our creative output comes from a place you would probably never expect.